Hey guys, welcome to your trade of the day. It's brought to you by Day Trade the World. Make sure you click that QR code on the bottom to start your journey with Day Trade the World today. Look, I mean, it was pretty simple. I can show you the sticky note here. It was the #1 name on the sticky note, and it's going to be AMD. And why is it going to be AMD? It's because of NVIDIA. There was news today about their AI chips and being shipped to China. No more starting, I think it was next year. But NVIDIA today down 11%. Not only that, it was looking at that 140. It took down its 52-week low and just kept on collapsing basically. So I couldn't really find any levels on NVIDIA. I already had made the move. When we came in, it was down 4 or 5%. So now you can see it's extended down 11%. It was down at one point over 12%. But I found AMD, and yesterday we had an 84 top. I just want to show you this little chart right here. Advanced micro and the semis. Every day, probably for the last 1 to 2 weeks, we've been writing short ideas for AMD. So again, it's kind of like muscle memory. Trade what you've been trading and stick with a bias one way until something changes. I talked about not wanting to go long this name until we get above 90. So that's kind of what we're doing. Look how this just keeps collapsing down. Yesterday's bottom of $84 right here. That was going to be a level that I wanted to watch for AMD in case we pop back up on this negative news for NVIDIA. It was like, nah, I don't think AMD is going to make a move back up, so let's just short it. And again, you know, coming in today, the NASDAQ, which we have right here, is now down 1.5%, but we started the day already down close to that 1%, maybe a little bit less, but it was already a red day. So here's AMD in the pre-market. It's kind of just barcoding in and around 83. Now, I was waiting for up here, that 84 bottom from the day before, but that didn't come into play. So we let it settle down for the first couple minutes. Once I'm seeing that 83, it doesn't want to take out that top, and we're watching NVIDIA just start to fade out here all morning, fade down. I was like, you know what? Within the first couple minutes, let's just put on a short here for AMD, and that's what we wind up doing. And we go short at about, I think it was about 82.60, something like that. We were waiting for a little bit of a higher print. We just missed a higher print at about 82.80 or 82.90. Just missed it on that wick right there. So we push it down, and then we just start to get out, because as it's coming down, we're trying to find out about 82, 81.50. That's 81.50 right there. Falls all the way down. Our last take, so we're in, we hold 20%. For 80, because guess what? It comes down to $80 even. That's always a trigger spot for us, right? 80 even, 85, 90, that kind of talk. So we get out on an even dollar level there, right? Then all of a sudden, this is where it gets a little tricky, because then we just start to go long, and the long starts working because we're bouncing it off of 80, right? It works until it doesn't, and we wind up getting out. But the thing is that as it's breaking back down below 80 here, you know, we're using some of these levels, but every time it pops up, we're slowly getting them out. Like, it doesn't, there's a lot of executions here, and I understand that a lot of you traders won't be able to trade like this, but, you know, up, get a little bit out, let it fall back down. And then this is where you were kind of just spinning through fees here. Now remember, we actually get paid to trade a little bit here at Day Trade the World if we add liquidity. So down here, I'm trying to defend this bottom of 78.50. Buys, buys, buys. Eventually it cracks that 78.50 and we get out, but it doesn't have too much volume. So we get it right back in as it breaks back above the 50 period. And this is where the money kind of starts flowing in on the long. So we make the money on the short, then we take a long again at 78.50, bust this all the way up. Our best out is near 80, and we're approaching there again. So look, lesson learned on this name is just a few things. If you're seeing, you know, a stock similar on a downtrend, right? Go over to a name that you're more comfortable trading. I'm comfortable trading NVIDIA, but we've just been trading AMD over and over again. So more comfortable with share size, more comfortable with the moves, and I've just been watching it, right? So something's double the price in NVIDIA versus AMD up here, so we pick this one. And then, you know, the one lesson that I really did learn, and I think that's important for you guys here on the Trade of the Day, is it wasn't settled here yet. The volumes were still pretty high back at about 1030, 1040. Should not have started to buy here, although it was working out fine. It wasn't great, and it was nerve-wracking, and if I don't get out, then look at this big drop down and you lose everything, right? So I feel like you got to sort of wait for these things to try to bottom out a bit, and that's going to be the hardest thing to pick. Like, where is the bottom? And if you're going to try to bottom pick, then make sure you do it close enough to the bottom that when you're wrong, you don't give back what you've made early. So we kind of let it settle down, let the volume sort of settle down a little bit here, and then start to pick some of these longs and watch it go back up to the upside. So again, AMD on news with NVIDIA, Play the momentum. Don't try to get too cute with it, and it's your trade of the day.